sure a lot of you recognize that iconic rock tune, Smoke on the Water. So today's lesson is about bar chords, and Smoke on the Water is a really good vehicle to talk about and try bar chords for the first time if you're just getting started with the guitar, because you're only holding down just two strings for every chord. So first, let me just talk quickly about what barring is. So a bar chord is a chord that has one finger that holds down more than one string. So if I bring the neck up, in Smoke on the Water we have chords that are two-note chords. They involve the fourth string and the third string. And what we're doing is we're taking one finger and using the flat portion of the finger, not the fingertip, to press down two strings at the same time. And this makes getting to the chord and holding down the chord pretty easy and quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to a screen lesson, a screen recording with the tablature of Smoke on the Water, just to explain it a little bit, and then I'm going to come back and just talk about the left and the right hand and go through it a couple of times. Okay? Okay, so these are the tabs for Smoke on the Water. Actually, we have notation on this line, and we have tablature below. So for those of you who are new to tablature, tablature is very simple and straightforward. The lines that you see horizontally across the screen here represent the strings. So the first line represents the first string of the guitar, second, third, fourth, fifth, down to sixth. And then the numbers that we have represent the frets. So fingerings are not really given, but Smoke on the Water is really easy. All of the chords that you actually hold down, you can just do with your first finger, pressing your first finger flat across two frets in every case. So let me just go through it very quickly. So first of all, I'll just say all of the chords only involve the third string and the fourth string. That's it. No other strings are actually involved at all. And the first chord is just those two strings played open. Then after that, what we're going to do is we're going to take our first finger and find the third fret and hold down the same two strings with the first finger held flat across both strings. Then you want to do the same for the fifth fret. So you'll just move your first finger up two frets to the fifth fret and hold down the fifth fret. And that's the way it'll go. We'll play the open chord next. We'll play the third fret, then the sixth fret, and then the fifth fret, and so on all the way through the piece, and then or through the riff. And we just repeat this riff several times before they actually get into the next part where the singing starts. So now that we've talked about that, I'm going to switch back to the camera and we'll talk a little bit about specifically how to do this with both right and left hands, and we'll go through it a couple of times. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to just kind of step our way through the song. First of all, just for reference, for those of you, again, who are new to the guitar, when you're reading the tab, the top line represents the first string, and that corresponds to the string that I'm pointing to right now, which is this string closest to the floor, okay? And we number them 1 through 6, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what we're going to do is we're going to play all of our chords on the fourth and the third strings. And I'll just talk about the right hand first because this is probably the easiest part. the hand that you're picking with, you're just going to hold the pick the way you ordinarily would if you've played before, or if you're new to this, you can pinch it between your first finger and your thumb. You can hold it like this. Different people hold it different ways. I would encourage you to experiment and find out what's comfortable for you. But once you start playing with it, what we want to do is we want to move it rapidly across the fourth and third strings, like that. Because we want to get both of the strings to sound as one. So we don't really want that, okay? We want to hear them together, which means we need to kind of rake the string across the strings fast, the pick across the strings fast enough to get them to sound as one chord. Okay, so the very first chord is just the fourth and third strings played open, which means simply not to hold down anything with the left hand. You just play the two strings as they are. That chord is followed by the third fret, which I'm going to recommend you hold down with your first finger. And again, it's the flat portion of the finger, not the fingertip, but this part, that we want to press flat across the third fret of the fourth and third strings. And just by the way, to get your best sound, you want to be up behind the fret that is closest to the body. So try not to do this. Try not to pull to the back part of the fret, which is closer to the headstock. Okay? Put your finger as high up as you can, but not on top of the fret. So that's our second chord. Our third chord will be at the fifth fret, which we'll do in the same way. We'll just hold down the fourth and third strings. And that gives us our sort of our first phrase, which will be open, 3, 5, like that. Okay? Open, 3, 5. So I like to think of that as the first part of Smoke on the Water. The second part is almost exactly the same. What we're going to do is we're going to play the open chord, then we're going to play the third fret, and then we're going to do the sixth fret and then the fifth fret. We want to go from 6 to 5 more rapidly than we do the other ones. So it would be open, 3, 6, 5, like that. Okay? Open, 3, 6, 5. And then the last portion of Smoke on the Water, or this riff from Smoke on the Water, would start the same way as the others do, or most particularly the first part, but then we would back out the way we would go in. So we'd go open, 3, 5, 3, open. Okay? That would be open, 3, 5, 3, open. Now, I don't really want to get too much into the rhythm aspect of things, but what I will do in this lesson is count off the time before we try it. So we're going to try it at a slow tempo first, and then we'll try maybe a medium tempo and then something a little faster. So here's a really slow tempo. I'll count off 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and again. All right, so that was slow tempo. Let's pick up the pace a little bit now and try it at a little faster tempo. 1, and 2 and 3 and 4 and. One more time. Okay, now let's take the tempo all the way up and try it at full speed. Okay, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so I hope everybody found that to be an enjoyable lesson, and I hope you have great success with it. And if you would like to get a PDF of the graphic that you saw with the tabs, you can come to my website, which is guitarlessonsincolumbia.com. And if you go to the sample lesson page, I will put links to the PDF for this lesson underneath the video player, and you can click on it and download it. Okay? Hope you liked it. Thanks.